Okay, today reviewing the Valhalla Cutlery, Hod.Dixie with the Damascus handles. Start with the case, very nice. It's just genuine leather. The pull did not come on there, I added that. Very plush inside. Knife and the lanyard, which is almost as big as the knife. My wife made that. And looks pretty good on there. Try to give you a close-up of the handles. See the grain. Very nice. Everything about this quality says quality right down to the pivots. Screws to put it together. Most impressed with what this is. This blade. Now, I'm going to flip it briefly. It has not been flipped hardly at all since new. So it is not properly broken in. It does flip pretty well. I have the blade taped because it's devilishly sharp. Another nick in the go board. And alright, let's take the tape off this blade so I can give you a good look at that. There we go. Alright, I love this blade. This is the meanest looking blade I think I've ever seen on a Valley. Get some of that fingerprints off there. Okay. Right there. Valhalla Cutlery, Hod.Dixie. Alan Harvey. Look at that grind. I'm gonna pitch it a little bit so you can see that concave grind on that blade. That is really, this thing's a work of art. It belongs in a collection, not played with, and that's probably what's gonna happen to it. It's gonna have an easy life. I'm thinking this is a titanium latch. It feels like it. My Typhoon latch is titanium and it has the same bite. I'm not sure, I've never owned a Damascus handled knife before. It feels a little stiff, but I mean that can also be due to the fact that it's new and it hasn't been flipped hardly at all. The latch doesn't swing free, not a problem for me. It might be for some flippers, but like my Typhoon, I created a resistance latch for it. It's a swing safe, so I'm not going to get cut. It pretty much stays in place, not as well as like the FE42 design, the new latch they've got for that, but I basically put a roll pin in place of the screw. And it puts enough tension on the latch to pretty much hold it in place while you're flipping. It does move around a bit. But this one here, almost the same, pretty much as much resistance as the roll pin. Maybe not quite as much because it is moving more. But I attempted to loosen it just to see if I could get it to swing free. It doesn't. It might be due to these handles have a tacky feel. They don't feel like these stainless steel handles, for instance, are very slippery. I mean, you could easily drop this knife. This knife gives you a little bit more grip. Plus, it's got the middle handle. This thing's completely flat. They are, I mean, far as size, I believe the Typhoon's a bit heavier, but if you look at them side by side, they're very close. Very close in size. They're both well constructed knives. This thing's great. This is my first custom knife. I'm glad I picked Valhalla Cutlery to purchase it from, and they have another one that I do have my eye on. And I'm not even going to mention it because I don't want it to sell before I can get it. But go to the website and see what they have if you're curious. Really don't have anything bad to say about this design. When I first got it, I flipped it quite a few times, and the pivot stayed nice and tight. Didn't look like any thread locker was used in assembly. I did, after I loosened them up with the tool, I put thread locker on them, try to get it just to swing just the way I wanted it. It seems to have worked out pretty well. They haven't come loose. There's got to be a torque specification for these pivots, man, where you can just torque them to where they won't come loose. I'll have to investigate that someday, but for now we'll just stick to the Loctite. So if you're looking for a nice custom, he's got another, I believe he has another Damascus handle one, the yellow hammer. These are sold out. Sorry. But it's like a solid handle like the Typhoon, but really it gives you more of the grain to look at. I'm sure it's a beautiful knife like this is. Put the lanyard back on there. And that pretty much sums it up. The only thing I would, if I were made this knife, what would I have done differently? The only thing I can say is I like the horns on the side of the blade. You can kind of give it gives you a little bit extra leverage when you're doing tricks. This is completely lacking the horns, which is not a problem. It's more, like I said, it's more to look at than flip, so I'm not complaining there. Other one I'm looking at, it does have a little bit of horn on the side. So that one I hear is a little beefier than this one, a little thicker handles, a little heavier duty looking constructed. But yet it's a stainless steel finish like this with the milled handle. So that's going to be my next major purchase whenever that someday. And if you're looking for a custom, give old JB over at Valhalla Roadside. He gets, I see a lot of negative comments about him. I mean, I've dealt with him over the last few years, and he's always been respectful to me. And anytime I've had a problem, I've always been satisfied with his resolutions. So I don't have nothing bad to say about the guy. Some people, you can't judge somebody. You got to judge them by the work they do. This is beautiful work. I don't care. I'd buy this from the devil himself if he was selling these beauties. So if you want a really special custom, check out Valhalla Cutlery. They got some pretty nice looking valleys to offer. Okay, so that concludes this review. I hope that if you're on the fence about which custom to buy, I hope this helps you decide. Whatever you decide, you gotta like it more than your money.